Here at Oracle Lighting, we've been committed to bringing you the most innovative lighting designs that give a seamless integrated look without appearing obviously aftermarket or like an afterthought. And that's no different with the new integrated windshield roof light bar system for the 2021 and up Ford Bronco. With its unique cowl design, you get a light bar that not only blends in with the factory top, but is aerodynamic and extremely quiet compared to other options on the market. This is also the most powerful light bar Oracle has ever offered, coming in at 18,000 raw lumens. Today we're going to show you what comes in the box and how to install this from start to finish. It's an extremely simple install, so let's get into that now. All right, so taking a quick look at what comes in the box, you have the light bar system itself. We have a set of replacement wiper blades. These are shorter. You're going to need these so that your wiper blades don't hit the light bar. We have some written instructions, and we have the caps for the bolt holes. You'll notice that these are labeled, and they have a matching label for each hole. All right, so the Bronco that we're working on today did not come factory equipped with the auxiliary switches, so we're gonna be using our off-road light bar switch harness. This is sold separately. We're gonna put a link to that here in the description. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna install this harness. We're gonna route our output cable through the firewall and up to the roof, where we're gonna install our light bar and finish everything off. All right, so first thing we need to do is locate the grommet on the firewall here. We've already got some cables going through that, but we're gonna pull it out. This is what we're gonna pass our harness cable through. All right, next we're gonna drop our light bar cable down through this hole. This is gonna drop the cable down into the driver's side footwell. This is gonna be the cable that we connect to the light bar. Next, we're gonna pass our switch through this opening as well. This is gonna get mounted somewhere on the dash. So we modified this grommet to be able to pass wires through. So we're gonna pass our cables through and then we're gonna plug this back in. So we've got that pushed back in. All right, so we've got our light bar cable through. Now we need to run this up the pillar and through the top. So first we're gonna pull down this door gasket. We don't need to pull it down all the way. We're also gonna remove this center trim. All right, now what we wanna do is we wanna feed this cable up and through. So we're gonna pull our cable up and then we're going to run it up along this pillar. Just making sure to tuck this behind our extra panel here. So we can kind of pull this panel out to the side a little bit. Go ahead and get that tucked in there. And then we can just run this all the way up. So we're gonna go somewhere here where this panel splits. We're gonna take our wires and we're just gonna push them straight up. Push that up here. We should be able to feel for it and pull this straight up through. I think this is a pretty good spot right here, so we're gonna go ahead and stick down the switch. All right, so with our cable ran through, we're gonna go ahead and get everything put back together here, and then we'll move up top. And we're gonna put this panel back in. All right, so moving up top, we've already removed the driver's side top. We need to remove these covers to expose the accessory mounts that Ford put here for us. That's gonna allow us to mount the light bar. So we're gonna press this button up top. That's gonna release the top of the cover and we're gonna pull this off. So we're gonna use a 10mm socket and ratchet. This is actually included in the toolkit with your Bronco. And then we're gonna remove this plastic retainer. Now we're gonna repeat that same process on the other side, and then we're gonna get the light bar prepped to be mounted. All right, so we've got our light bar. Next step is to wire it up. So we're gonna go ahead and flip this over right now. And we're gonna have a look at our pigtail that comes on the light bar. As you can see, we've got a few wires here. We've got our main red and black wires. This is gonna be for the light bar. And then we have a white and a yellow wire. This is for the optional white and amber clearance lights. You can wire these to whatever source you'd like, whether you have the switches, you can wire these to a separate switch. You can wire these to your park lights, to ignition. We're gonna leave that up to you. So we're gonna be connecting these wires to our switch harness cable. If your Bronco came equipped with the factory auxiliary switches, unfortunately the accessory wire that Ford ran up the pillar is a little too lightly gauged for this light bar. We're offering an extended adapter cable that is appropriately gauged to connect directly to the auxiliary switch wires in the engine compartment. Link for that's gonna be down in the description as well. All right, so we're connecting our wires together. I'm using heat shrink butt connectors here. As you can see, all these wires connect together color for color. All right, so with all our wires connected, we're just gonna heat up this heat shrink, make these wires watertight. So since we ran our harness up the driver's side, we did have to go across the light bar. So we're just gonna flip up our brackets. We're gonna make sure that our wires go through these bossings here, just so they're not sagging. We're gonna zip tie the harness to the bracket just to keep it from sagging, and we just wanna keep everything nice and tidy here. All right, now we're ready to flip the light bar over, get it into position. Just gonna line those brackets up. So we've got the light bar in position, and I just want to point out with the cable, we are laying this over the gasket, so we want to make sure that the cable runs right through this little groove here. That's going to allow the gasket to form a seal around the cable. Don't worry, we've already extensively tested this through torrential rain and pressurized washes. The cable being laid over the gasket like this does not leak. The gasket does still form a good seal around the cable. Put our 10mm nuts back on. All right, so we have our torque wrench set to 60 inch-pounds, and we're just gonna make sure that these are torqued to spec. So now with the nuts torqued, we just need to put our caps in. This will seal up the holes. You can see that we have A1 and A2 for the driver's side. So we're gonna get our A1 and A2 plugs, and we're just gonna match those up. Notice that these are slotted. There is a keyway, so you need to make sure that you put these on correctly the first time. Pop that in, then we can remove our stickers. Now that you're done on this side, you can go ahead and do the same exact thing on the other side. All right, so when we were connecting the wires up top, you noticed that I connected a couple of white and yellow wires. We have those same wires coming off the relay harness in the engine compartment. That allows you to connect the optional white or amber clearance lights to whatever source you choose. Today we're going to be connecting the yellow wire for the amber clearance lights to one of our upfitter switches. You can connect these in any combination you want. For example, you can connect the white to the park lights. You can connect the amber to the park lights. You can connect either to ignition. You can combine them in any way you choose. And the last thing we just need to do is connect our red wire to battery positive and our black wire to negative. We're going to use our 10mm that was included with our Bronco toolkit. I'm going to go ahead and we'll grab our negative. All right, so with those wires connected, you should be able to hit the switch that we mounted in the dash, and the light bar should turn on. So now that we've got everything installed and wired up, the last thing we need to do is install our included wiper blades. All right, so we just snap that into place. And you just want to make sure you take this yellow cover off.